You may have, at one time or another, had a front row seat to your favorite band or team. But one Richmond native had better than a front row seat to his favorite pastime. He actually became an important part of the rise of the industry and has plenty of stories about the ride.
That's a good one there. And that's Ronnie Garvin and Flair. If there's me and Magnum and Flair.
By his own admission, Earl Hebner was never much of a student, and he's never had a real job.
Not really. Once I got this one, I didn't need a rolling. I would have been fired. It's easy to count to 3.
With those simple math skills and a willingness to do whatever it took to be successful, Hebner has had a career of which many could only dream.
When I was a kid, I'd work for a Richmond concessionaire doing the concessions, and when they had wrestling out at the fairground.
Hebner began a career in professional wrestling right here in his hometown at the old State Fairgrounds on Strawberry Hill.
The big break was one day Mr. Joe Murnick came in, and he goes, "Earl, I need you to do me a favor." I said, "Okay," because I was working for him, putting the ring up and everything. He said, "I need you to referee." And I said, "Mr. Murnick, I don't know nothing about refereeing." He said, "All you got to do is listen."
That he could do. And for the better part of the next 5 decades, Hebner was one of the best. His career as a professional wrestling referee gave him a front row seat to the meteoric rise of the industry and a deep appreciation for the athleticism and passion of his coworkers. Even though he was part of the show, that didn't always save Hebner from injury himself. He's taken several bumps, as they're called in the industry, which didn't always go as planned.
I'm all busted up and broke up. One of the doctors says, "I'm going to have to start letting you drink some super glue." And, things do happen. But hey, that's the price you pay if you want to be in the game.
And like any other professional athlete or performer, there was nothing like being in the game. We rattled off some of the biggest names in wrestling over the past 40 years. Hebner worked, traveled, partied, and experienced life with all of them. Macho Man, Randy Savage, what was he like?
He was, well, he was okay. I had a few problems with him because he was a guy that wanted everything perfect, but nothing's perfect in the ring.
What was Andre the Giant like?
Andre was super. I used to sit in the dressing room and play cribbage with him. I could never beat him. He was the world's best.
And I know you were especially close with Hulk Hogan.
Oh gosh, yeah. He was a great guy. He took so good care of me and my brother, both of us. Heck, I'd do his match. We'd go in shower, limo take us to the airport, get on that jet, loaded with food and booze, and man, and I'm going, there's a kid out of nowhere living this life. And it was hard for me to believe, but it was great. Flair was beyond himself. And God, I love him to death. It's a lot of them that helped me, but he's probably one of the best that got me noticed being who I am and what I did by him. It was like a WrestleMania. I mean, the crowd went crazy. The crowd came, and every night they had a match. It was a WrestleMania match. And the thing I liked about it is that at the end, Stone Cold would get me on the buzz. I said, "Steve, you're throwing the beers too quick. I can't drink them that fast." So finally, I'd watch him and I go, "Okay, now I know what he's doing." And I just chug-a-lug him and let him go like that. I mean, man, I was getting the buzz on. But that was a good part of it, working that match. I didn't have to buy any beer.
It wasn't always good times. Hebner was one of the central figures in what's known as the Montreal Screwjob, when WWE Chairman Vince McMahon made Hebner go against his word and the obvious flow of the match and rule in favor of Shawn Michaels against Bret the Hitman Hart, a decision that stayed with Hebner for years.
And he said, "Well, what are you going to do?" I said, "I don't know." He said, "What do you mean you don't know? You don't want a job here? Is Bret's getting $3 million down there. Is he giving you $1 million?" I said, "Not really." And, it was do or go. I've had conversations with Bret. We call each other maybe 3 times a year, see how each other's doing, and we've healed the wound, thank God. And we can go and see each other on signings and everything. We get along good. Even today, when I think about it, it bothers me some, but not as much as it did because it's been 30-something years ago.
What was it like to work for Vince?
At the beginning, it was fun, but when they went corporate, the whole atmosphere changed. You know, it was fun before that, and then it got to be strict business about everything.
Earl worked with his twin brother Dave for years, traveled the world, got injured, got back up again, and saw the explosion of professional wrestling from the inside. Not bad for a kid from Shepherd Street who used to bring tapes of matches at the fairgrounds right here to Channel 6 to run on Saturday mornings.
I never liked school, but I liked to work, and that's all I've done my whole life. And knock on wood, I've been very successful. Like I said, God gifted me to have what I have and the chance to do what I loved.
You can see more of our interview with Hebner in this story on our website, and you can follow him on social media. Find out where his next autograph appearance will be. He still does several stops every month. And if you'd like to nominate someone for us to profile, just email us at beyondtheroster@WTVR.com.